Hi, welcome to Next Level from Level with Emily. I am Emily Reese, and that over there, whichever side he's on, is Sam Keenan.
Hello.
And we have a bonus episode coming up for you on Monday. But before we get to that episode, we want to talk about who's coming up on Friday. And that happens to be, drumroll, Jason Graves. It's not a
Jason
secret.
Graves.
I don't know why I'm like bumping it up like it's some big secret. Jason Graves. Yeah, we love Jason, don't we?
Yeah, I mean we've known and loved and talked to Jason for years. What a
I know.
wonderful fellow that guy is.
I know he's amazing. And I'm really curious. I should count sometime how many episodes he's been in.
Hmm.
Also, how many, I wonder how many panels he's been on that I've moderated through the years, whether it be at like a PAX or something like that. I wonder how many
Hmm.
times we've actually done something like this together. But yeah, Jason Graves this Friday, Moss Book 2. It's a VR game. Just recently released. But what did you think about his music for Moss Book 2?
I thought it was really fun and different for him.
Yeah.
Um, Jason he's a person that I bring up often when I'm talking to, random normies or whatever about video game music and interesting things in music and video games specifically because he's like a fun little scientist the way he builds his scores and things, and like his Dead Space music was so unbelievably cool, and the way he went
Yeah.
about recording it was cool, and he's got his little science laboratory set up at his place amongst all his animals. And it's just, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
fun to hear him do something different. This one was a little bit more musical, and he got to talk a little
Yeah.
shop about modes and things, which is fun.
Yeah, he really gets into that, and he's written a lot of thematic and musical-esque scores,
Hmm.
musical-esque. But
It's a
yeah,
word.
this one was like hardcore melodic lyrical, like everything is in a major key, which isn't
Hmm.
true. That's not true even remotely. Even the main theme isn't in a major key, but
Oh.
but there's but there's a lot. I say that just because, we are accustomed in some ways to hearing scary music from Jason. And,
Hmm.
there are many examples of him not doing that. So I don't want to lead you astray. Tomb Raider, for one. I mean, that
Sure.
was
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
100% scary all the time.
Right.
But yeah, it's really beautiful melodic music, and especially Kristen Nagus is the woodwind player, and she plays, I can't remember how many he says, but pay attention in the upcoming interview how many instruments she actually played for Moss Book 2. It's
Mm.
amazing. So
Yeah.
really amazing stuff from her as well as from him.
Yeah. And he's able to just crank this stuff out too, and it's so consistent. It all sounds amazing. It's
Yeah.
mixed amazing. It's a very wonderful listen.
Yeah, it sure is. So Jason and Moss Book 2, we talk about a lot of things Moss related. That's coming up in Friday's episode. And then we do have a bonus episode this week for, it doesn't even matter why. We're just we're just trying to get some episodes out
Yeah.
for some folks. And Andrew Prahlow, who we've had on the show before as well, to talk about Outer Wilds, which that game came out in 2019, but then there was more content that came out. And then, I mean, I just love how Andrew like released all that music, and then he was like, I'm not done. Like, I'm not done feeling musical feelings about this world. And so he wrote a whole bunch of other music that he calls the lost reels. So that's mostly what we talk about. And I'm curious what you thought of that conversation.
That was really cool. Actually, I really liked that music too, and you
Yeah.
could tell that he was coming from an inside place, if you know what I mean. Like, it's
Yeah.
the music just feels great. And I was talking to some musicians I know about it the other day, just to telling them you got to check out this score, because it's just really interesting, moody, and those buildups of these big like walls of synth and everything, and then things will get real
Yeah.
gentle, and there's a lot of real wall of sound, cool
Yeah.
vibes going on.
Yeah. And just to explain, a little aside. So, you know, I do the interview, I edit it, put it together in that way, put in the music.
Hmm.
Then Sam goes through, listens however many times you actually go through it. I'm not sure, but in order to mix it. So,
Depends, but yeah.
and yeah, and then we just really love to talk about it after the fact. And we finally figured we should just do that on camera. So that's a little bit about what's going on now and why we like to discuss, like, well, what did you think? Well, what did you think? Because we don't sit side by side and work on these things together. So
Right.
it's really fun to just kind of decompress on that. And I had been telling you for weeks, I was like, oh my God, this music from the Lost Reels it's just so emotional. It's like a gut punch, but in the best way. It's like just a warm hug in a lot of ways. And I just thought that really came through musically.
Yeah, 100%. And that one went on my list of stuff to just remember to keep on listening to and stuff, in terms of just fantastic music that comes through on the show. And we've had such great episodes lately, good stuff going on. It's really a pleasure to be plugged into all these people making such creative and interesting stuff.
I agree. And I get almost a little frustrated toward the end of the year because I'm like, oh, man, I have to start thinking about, best scores of the year. And like, I sometimes am in places where I sort of go on record about that. And I'm always just like, man, there's so many great scores. And we are really fortunate to get to hear a lot of them in the detail that we get to spend time with them, It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and both of these shows, Jason and Andrew, they're very interesting conversations too for, whoever's interested in video game music and production and all that stuff. They're just they're two pros, that's for sure.
Yeah, they definitely are. And yeah, I'm excited to share those episodes with everyone. Jason coming up on Friday, Andrew will be on Monday. Sam, do you have anything else you want to add about either score?
I don't think so. I guess just check them out. I mean, honestly, we could probably talk about it all day, but
I know.
But we'll save it for the show.
Yeah. All right. Well, make sure you check out the audio podcast version wherever you stream your podcasts, and you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/level. Join us on Discord. That link is in the show notes. And join us on YouTube anytime. We've got all kinds of new content going up with rapidity. So thank you so much for joining us.